It is September 22nd here in 2025, which means it is the autumnal equinox. Uh, I'm talking to you uh, here in California. It's about, 3 or 4 minutes past 10 a.m., and I think it's going to happen officially, astronomically. The sun will be entering Libra, or the equinox will actually be the equinox around 11 o'clock. So we're already, uh, it's happening right now. And yesterday I went to a great deal of rambling uh, to talk about the shift uh, that's taking place basically at this time of year, about the entire manifestation of the previous year has done what it's going to do. It's fulfilled its potential, and now it's time to jumpstart it again. And I used a Yod Hey Vav Hey, mother, father, son, daughter, and mother and father, one God, and mother and son, one God, and son and daughter, one God, and daughter and father, one God. That's the jump starting again. Today I'm going to share something from a very, very an extra good comment Crowley made about the adjustment card, or the justice card. Okay, and in the Thoth deck, that card looks like that. Okay, now she's kind of a harlequin. Okay, and she's standing on tiptoe. Sometimes it's hard to see that, and of course she's got the scales and the balances, and she's got the crown of the goddess Ma'at, which is like vulture feathers there, but that's the goddess of justice. And Crowley saw justice not in terms of revenge or "Oh, bring him to justice, hang him, but in terms of readjustment. When something's out of whack, it returns to stability. Okay, and hence the ballet on tiptoe there. Now, this is Lamed. Okay, there's the Hebrew letter Lamed. Now, Crowley's returned the key number of the card back to it's originally was number 8 in the series of tarot cards, but Lamed stays in the same sequence of the Hebrew alphabet. And I want to show you something, because she's connected. That Lamed, which means an ox goad, or the stimulator, the divine cattle prod that keeps the creative juices going, or reignites the forward motion of the ox, this symbol of fecundity and fertility and strength and life. Okay. The other harlequin in the Thoth Tarot is the Fool card. Now, you might not think immediately that it's the harlequin, but look at those boots, for Christ's sake. Okay. So these guys go together. And Aleph, which is the Fool's letter, means ox. Ox goad, ox. Get going, get going, get going. A-L. And when you spell Aleph and Lamed to form a word in that order, Aleph and Lamed, excuse me, yeah, Aleph and Lamed, boy, I can't get my coordination together here, means God. It's the simplest way to say God in Hebrew. They usually pronounce it El, and it's the root of Eloah, Elohim, God, A-L, 31. But when you spell it the other way, L-A, it means not. I mean a big not. Like if God is everything, the not is nothing. Allah. It's pretty much a big, huge cosmic thing going on there. And I kind of noticed that when you put these two together, and I'm going to do it in such a way, excuse me. We see the LA going on there, and read from bottom to top LA or AL. But look at that Libra there and the elemental symbol of air. And that's almost as if that triangle was like a fulcrum of a teeter-totter. That is that Libra symbol. Pretend that Libra is a teeter-totter with one kid on one side and one kid on the other. And that Libra is going back and forth like that. Okay, and to kind of underscore the sublimeness of the tarot and the tarot trumps, and how really important that opening section of the Kabbalistic work of that Sefer Yetzirah that talks about the Hebrew alphabet and God creating everything with letters, numbers and letters. Look at it this way. There's a 0, okay. There's 22 trump cards, 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet. But when we start to play with the mysteries of the tarot, those 22 letters are assigned numbers, key numbers. And those key numbers aren't tied to the numerical equivalent of the Hebrew letter. In other words, the sequence of the tarot trumps starts with 0 and ends with 21. Let's not even think about at the moment the numerical equivalent of Aleph or Bet or Gimel or anything. Just the numbers. So 0 is sort of out of sequence, and you've got 21 other trumps. And if you put them in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way through 21, you have 10 cards on one side, 10 cards on the end, and right in the middle is number 11. Number in the 11th letter in the Hebrew alphabet is Lamed. So what we're dealing with 0 sort of being above and transcending this whole thing here, and another matching thing in the sequence itself that doesn't move. All of these other numbers are in a constant state of going like that. But these two are special. Out of sequence, perfectly still. Out of sequence, perfectly still. Now in Tarot of Ceremonial Magic, our two ballet cards are the Fool, Aleph, and his girlfriend, Lamed. And somebody on Facebook superimposed the outlines of these guys so that it's really kind of cool. Anyway, here's what Crowley has to say. In the Book of Thoth, here's what he has to say about adjustment, the card adjustment. This card in the old pack is called Justice. The word has none but a purely human and therefore relative sense. So it's not to be considered as one of the facts of nature. Nature is not just, according to any theological or ethical idea, but nature is exact. This card represents the sign of Libra, ruled by Venus. In it, Saturn is exalted. Now I go on and on about Saturn a lot. Saturn's one of those special things too. Okay, but I'd be talking about that until the solstice. The equilibrium of all things is hereby symbolized. It is the final adjustment in the formula of tetragrammaton. That's that Yod-He-Vav-He thing I was talking to you yesterday about. When the daughter, He final, is redeemed by her marriage with the son, Vav, and thereby set up on the throne of the mother, the first He, thus finally she awakens the eld of the All-Father, Yod. In the greatest symbolism of all, however, the symbolism beyond all planetary and zodiacal considerations, this card is the feminine complement of the Fool, for the letters Aleph, Lamed, constitute the secret key of the Book of the Law. And this is the basis of a complete Kabbalistic system of greater depth and sublimity than any other. The details of this system have not yet been revealed. It has been thought right, nevertheless, to hint at its existence by equating the designs of these two cards. Not only, therefore, because Libra is the sign of Venus, but because she is the partner of the Fool, is the goddess represented as dancing with the suggestion of the Harlequin. So that's how Crowley did it. And this is how we did it. The figure is that of a young woman, slender woman poised exactly on tiptoe. She is crowned with the ostrich plumes of Maat, the Egyptian goddess of justice, and on her forehead is the Uraeus serpent, lord of life and death. Now, I think Crowley is commenting on an earlier or another version of Harris's, because I really don't see, perhaps you all can see the Uraeus serpent on her head. I really don't see it in this. So this may be another example of Crowley making comments on earlier drafts of the card. She is masked, and her expression shows a secret, intimate satisfaction in her domination of every element of disequilibrium in the universe. This condition is symbolized by the magic sword, which she holds with both hands, and the balances or spheres in which she weighs the universe. Aleph, the first balance. Get it? Aleph, 0, the first balance, against Omega, the last. And so there's the Aleph, or the Alpha, I guess we'll call that, and the Omega. That's on her scales. These are the judex and testes of final judgment. The testes, in particular, are symbolic of the secret course of judgment, whereby all current experience is absorbed, transmuted, and ultimately passed on by virtue of the operation of the sword. Now, you can really look at that in almost overt sexual terms. I mean, it'd be hard not to look at it that way, at least one aspect of this. All this takes place within a diamond formed by the figure which is the concealed Vesica piscis. Now, Vesica. See, there's the Vesica. That yellow thing behind her. That's a Vesica piscis. Now, here's where it really gets good. Oh, I'm taking up too much time this morning. Yeah. Let's say the hugest singular, the biggest God, the biggest one, the totality, the smoothest, most eternal singularity. We try to show its eternalness by a 0. Okay. There isn't anything other than that. There is no 2. Okay. The best we can do to do something else besides that is to create a reflection of that. Okay. Then when you put those, not even 2, but when you put those 2 zeros together, how can I do this? They form another kind. There it is. I'm looking at you through it. They create a Vesica out of the onenesses and its reflection. They come together and they form the Vesica. It's like a third kind of wonderful singularity and nothing at the same time. But I digress. Okay. Let's see. This all takes place within the diamond formed by the figure which is the concealed Vesica piscis, fish bladder, through which this sublimated and adjusted experience passes to its next manifestation. So there's the sexual illusions, because it passes on, just like genetic code passes on, just like, okay, so, but remember that's also an allegory for this big cosmic creational cycle. She poses herself before a throne composed of spheres and pyramids. I'm not seeing that, are you? 4 in number, signifying law and limitation, which themselves maintain the same equity that she herself manifests through though on a completely impersonal plane, the framework within which all operations take place. Outside this again, at the corners of the card, are indicated balanced spheres of light and darkness. Constantly equilibrated rays from these spheres form a curtain, and the interplay of all those forces which she sums up and adjudicates. Well, yeah, we do see those spheres up in the corner with their rays. One must go more deeply into philosophy. The trump represents, and this is in caps or first caps, the woman satisfied. Equilibrium stands apart from any individual prejudices. Therefore, the title in France should rather be Justice. And that's Constance's magical motto. She's Sister Comrade Justice. Okay. In this case, nature is scrupulously just. It is impossible to drop a pin without exciting a corresponding reaction in every star. The action has disturbed the balance of the universe. This woman goddess is Harlequin, and she is the partner and fulfillment of the fool. She is the ultimate illusion, which is manifestation. She is the dance, many-colored, many-wild, of life itself, constantly whirling. All possibilities are enjoyed under the phantom show of space and time. All things are real. The soul is the surface precisely because they are instantly compensated by this adjustment. All things are in harmony and beauty. All things are truth because they cancel out. She is the goddess Mot. She bears upon her nemes the ostrich feathers of the twofold truth. Well, they're not, I guess they're not buzzard. They're not vulture pheasant feathers. From this crown so delicate that the most faintest breath of thought must stir it, dependent by chains of cause, the scales, wherein alpha, the first, is poised in perfect equilibrium with omega, the last. The scales of the balance are the two witnesses in whom every word shall every word be established. She is therefore to be understood, assessing the virtue of every act and demanding exact and precise satisfaction. More than this, she is the complete formula of the dyad. The word AL is the title of the book of the law. It's Liber AL, Vel Legis, whose number is 31, the most secret of the numerical keys of that book. She represents manifestation, which may always be canceled out by the equilibration of opposites. She's wrapped in a cloak of mystery, the more mysterious because diaphanous. She is the Sphinx without a secret, because she is purely a matter of calculation. In Eastern philosophy, she is karma. Her attributes develop this thesis. Venus rules the sign of the balance, and that is to show the formula, love is the law, love under will. But Saturn My favorite subject. But Saturn represents above all the element of time, without which adjustment cannot take place, for all action and reaction take place in time. And therefore, time being itself merely a condition of phenomena, all phenomena are invalid because uncompensated. Well, I don't have time to bring myself to justice. The woman satisfied. From the cloak of the vivid wantonness of her dancing wings issue her hands. They hold the hilt of the phallic sword of the magician. She holds the blade between her thighs. This again is a hieroglyph of love is the law, love under will. Every form of energy must be directed, must be applied with integrity to the full satisfaction of its destiny. And that's my little talk, sort of following up on yesterday's talk. And if you're watching this on Facebook, these little shows stay on Facebook for about 30 days. But fortunately, every day's talks are also replayed and archived permanently on Facebook. So if you just look on Facebook every day, you can also see these long after, YouTube. You can see them long after Facebook takes them down. Anyway, that's it for today. That's it for the order of Monday morning. Until tomorrow and Parking Lot Tuesday, continue to be good to yourself, be good to each other. Do what thou wilt, shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will.